Penny Jane Love here, bringing you a wig review from Lori's Lemonade Stand, a wig boutique. Today, I'm doing a review on Noriko's Zion, Z-I-O-N, in the color Razberry Ice R. Razberry Ice R, and the R is for rooted. Okay, so how do you guys like my new setup? So I wanted, before I jumped into the wig review real quick, I wanted just to tell you why I have a different setup and just a little bit about myself and how I kind of landed this role of doing wig reviews. So I've been doing wig reviews for about 6 months now, I think. Gosh, time goes by so fast. And they have been really hard for me, which has been driving me crazy because I am, I'm not a shy person at all. I'm pretty outgoing, and you can put me on a stage with 500 people in the audience and I can talk to them with no problem at all. But for some reason, when I would get in front of the camera, I would just get so nervous and wouldn't know what to say, and it would take me sometimes 2 or 3 days to do one 5 or 8 minute review. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is really stressing me out. Why am I struggling so much to do these reviews? I don't understand what the difference is between just having a camera in front of me or having 500 people sit in front of me. And that part of it I cannot explain. So I've been racking my brain to figure out what can I do so that I feel more comfortable. And I am doing my reviews in a more conversational style, and not showing so many nerves and everything. So I actually practiced different ways of doing it for about an hour today before I started this review. And what I found was that when I'm sitting down, I feel more relaxed. And that's actually seems like it's helping a lot with my nerves. So that's why I'm sitting down. And what I'm doing is I'm imagining that my favorite wig sisters are surrounding the table with me, and we're all just taking turns talking about our wigs. So hopefully I will get through this much easier than I have in the past. Another thing that I always tried to do is I thought that my wig reviews kind of went smoother if I tried to memorize everything instead of having to keep looking at my notes. And I've been talking to my friends about, the struggle that I've been having with trying to get my wig reviews done. And one of my friends said, he goes, well, why do you try to memorize all the notes? And I said, I just think that it just looks more smooth, and you look like what you're talking about. And he said, well, I don't know, if I was looking at these reviews, I would think if a person was looking at her notes, that would be okay, because at least she has the information in front of her. And when I got to thinking about that, I said, oh, that's really smart, because why try to memorize it? One, because it's so hard, and I think that's part of the reason why I was having such a hard time, because I was having trouble memorizing the information. And so I decided I'm going to use my notes. So here are my notes. If you see me looking at them, you know why, but at least the information that I'm giving you is accurate. So I don't want to take too long on this. I've already 4 minutes in. So I think that I'll tell you my wig story and how my alopecia story and how I got to this point of doing wig reviews for my next review. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Zion by Noriko. Okay, so I have to tell you, I've had wigs. I try to always give the positive and the negatives. Whenever I do a wig review, I do try to give really honest as far as what I feel about a wig when I'm talking about them, because I know how hard it is to buy wigs. It seems like more and more we're going to online purchasing, and it is really hard to try on a wig when you can't actually put it on. We don't have I live in Virginia, and where I live, the only wig stores that we have are the big beauty stores where they only let you try on 5 wigs at a time. And they're, pretty economical. And if all my wig sisters out there know, you can't always find a wig in just 5 wigs. You would think it would be easy, but it's really not. You may see a wig that you love. You're like, oh, I love this wig. And you try it on and it just doesn't look good on you. And your best wig sister could have it and it looks amazing on her. It's so many different things that go into what makes a wig look good on you. And sometimes it takes trying on 10, 15, 20 wigs to find that one wig. And I know all of the wig stores around here, they will only let you try on up to 5. And that was so aggravating for me. So I do try to give you guys the most accurate information I can. And of course, it's my humble opinion that I'm giving you. But I try to be as fair and accurate as I can. And telling you the information. So I just want you guys to know that. Okay, guys, let's talk about Noriko's Zion. So when I learned that I was going to be getting Zion in the mail, I was really excited because I was like, oh, I'm going to love Zion because she's so similar to one of my favorite wigs. And I've talked about this before. Raquel Welch's On Point was actually my very first favorite wig. Now, I do have some other favorite wigs now, but On Point was like, I have I have lots of favorite wigs now, if I'm completely honest with you, but there are 2 that are special to me. I keep saying and it's driving me crazy. Okay, I got to stop that. All right. So my very first favorite wig was one that I found at, believe it or not, a local beauty supply store. And even though, she did look like a wig, she actually looked really good. She was just a $25 wig. And yes, she didn't look anywhere near as natural as the wigs that I'm able to review and own now. But I actually wore her the same style and color for 3 years straight. I didn't want people to know I wore a wig. And when I finally decided to embrace wearing different wigs, the next favorite one that I had was On Point. This was, I would say, the other one is special because of the sentimental value of it. It's what got me started wearing wigs and learning about them. And I wore her for 3 years. And my friends used to, when they saw it, they always called her the pity wig. That's the pity wig. Because I would literally every January buy a case, 12 wigs. It was the same color, same style. It would get me through the whole year because I could wear that wig for about a month. And then I decided I was going to change. So when I started changing and trying different wigs and everything, the next wig that I fell in love with was On Point by Raquel Welch. And she has actually really been my my main go-to wig for this past year. And you can see they're very similar. They both are A-line smooth bobs that are angled, shorter in the back, longer as they come forward. The part in the middle, very similar. And I was like, oh, I should really love her. Well, when I got Zion, I was in a rush, but you know how it is when you get a new wig, you just can't wait to try it on. So I said, okay, I'm going to go try her on real quick before I leave, just so I can see what she looks like. And when I tried her on, I didn't really like her. I was like, oh, well, I don't think I like her. And I was actually disappointed because I wanted to like her. I even called Lori and we were talking about, she asked me how I liked it. And I said, I don't think I like her as much as I thought I was going to. And I put her away and didn't think about her again until it was time to do her review. So when I put her on, started, sometimes you always have to play around with the wigs, mess with them some to kind of get them to look good. Now, I have not done a whole lot to Zion at all. Really, this is mostly just out of the box. And I've run my fingers through her. and kind of used my hands to style her in different places. And the more that I played with her and looked at her, I was like, you know what? She's kind of growing on me. I think I do like her. And the more and more I wore her and looked in the mirror and played with her more, the more that I really liked her. And I can say now that I really like her a lot. And I really mean that. So, what I was thinking is, Raquel Welch's On Point's very expensive. And because it has the heat-friendly fibers, she has a shorter lifespan. And Zion is a synthetic wig, and she's going to have a longer lifespan. And there's some things I actually think I like a little bit better on Zion than I do on Point. So let's keep this in perspective, because Zion is, she's a more economical wig. So with that, you're going to get some of the things that you're not going to get when you get into the $400, $500, $600 wigs. But sometimes the benefit is actually worth it. So I actually think Zion would be a better everyday wig for me, because she has those synthetic fibers, which are going to last longer. They're not going to get as frayed. She's actually a little bit more comfortable on my head than on Point. I feel like maybe her cap is a little bit smaller, and I don't know. I don't know if this is the same for everyone, but for me, when the wigs fit more snug, they're more comfortable. In fact, I don't even think I need to put glue on Zion, and I still feels like she would be pretty snug. Maybe she'll stretch a little bit as I wear her. But right now, she's really snug and she feels really comfortable. She's definitely doesn't cost as much, and she's really cute and kind of has an edgy look on her. So I think what I might start doing now, of course, we're getting into spring and summer, and I usually kind of like to go with the lighter colors. But I can try Zion in a different color. But I think what I might do now is use her kind of like my everyday wig, the wig that I wear to work and stuff like that. And then I'm going to save my own points for, maybe more special occasions, so that I don't have to wear her every day. And it'll help me save some money. That's the reason that I really like Zion, because I think she looks great. And, she's less expensive and she's going to last longer. Now, with that comes some downfalls. I'm going to hold up On Point. You see, Zion has some shine to her. She's more shiny than On Point. And, both of these are, I've worn On Point once and I've worn Zion once. So, they've got pretty much the same wear on them. Now, you can get it's not the worst. First of all, it's not the worst like shine that I've ever seen. When I was going to the wig boutique stores here, you would see some crazy shiny wigs. So Zion is not nearly as bad as I've seen, but she does have some shine to her. Easy way to fix it: get some dry shampoo, or look up. There's lots of ways. There's several different things that you can do to get the shine out of a wig. And I don't want to spend the time here because I've already spent too much time talking about other stuff. But you can look it up, and I might just, when I do a review on another shiny wig, at that point tell you guys kind of what you can do to get rid of that shine. So Zion is a sleek A-line bob. She's shorter in the back, and she's tapered and gets longer here. One thing that I noticed a difference between her and On Point is her taper from the back to the front, where they get longer, is a little bit more gradual and kind of not as noticeable or as severe, I guess, maybe is a good word, as it is on Point. So that was one difference that I found. She also has like jagged edges, if you or ends, if you look at them. And let me look at my notes real quick to see exactly how I worded that when I was taking my notes. So she has shaggy, razored edges that really give her kind of a modern, edgy look, I think. And I really like that. You know, that's another difference between On Point and Zion is On Point doesn't have kind of like those razored edge. Her ends are much more smooth, whereas you can see the difference there, right? How it's kind of just jagged, I guess is a good word. So she has these jagged, razored edge that really give her kind of like a edgy modern look. All right, so now look at my notes real quick. So she's also, if you'd like to compare her to another Noriko wig, Taylor is a wig that's very similar to her. So I was actually surprised that I liked On Point and Zion because I don't usually like center parted wigs. And the irony in that is that one of my very favorite wigs is a center parted wig. And the reason for that is I have, kind of a big forehead, and I don't, you don't want your big old forehead showing. So I was a little worried about that, but I think that she cuts really close into here, into your face. And I think because of that, because she's not like this, and because she's more at an angle over your forehead, that it looks good. My forehead doesn't look like a big, tall, shiny flying saucer. So if you don't like middle part wigs, like I don't, still consider her, because I just think because of the way that she's cut. Now, one complaint that I heard some of my other wig sisters make about Zion is she kind of is in your face. And so, you can kind of put your hands on her like this to hold her back, or you could use steam. But honestly, I haven't had that problem. And so this is another reason why you should always try a wig on, even if your favorite reviewer, you don't like how it looks on her, or there's just something about the way that a wig is sitting on her that you don't like, because it might actually look really good on you. So just keep that in mind. Okay, now let's talk about Zion's lace front and her part. And I'm gonna pull the computer closer so you guys can see this. So if I was to have any complaints, or I would say my least favorite thing about Zion is I don't love her hairline as much as I love, say, a Raquel Welch hairline. Here, I'll give you guys a close look up there. So, first of all, the lace front. The lace is a little bit thicker and stiff. It's not as soft as it is, like, say, on a Raquel Welch wig. And those knots are looking a little naughty, if you ask me. They're kind of big and they're really dark. I think one way to maybe help hide those knots, again, I'll let you guys see. It's actually a pretty good view there. So my wrinkled forehead. But I think you could fix it one of two ways. You could if you're going to get a darker wig and you have hair, and you have dark hair, your dark hair is going to blend right in there and you won't see it. But I don't have hair up there, so you can see it because it's laying right next to my scalp. Another thing you could do is get some, say, like eyeshadow that kind of matches, and just put it down the part. And a lot of times that will really help to make it look natural. And you have to be kind of careful doing that. But I definitely, especially when I was buying all my wigs from the beauty store, I would definitely put eyeshadow to hide a part or something like that. So just to hit there. So the part is a 100% hand-tied monofilament center part. The part is pretty wide, so you can part it. You can move it a little bit, but you have to part it in the center. But because it's so wide, you can move it. I would say probably about to here and here on each side. So you have that there. Okay, let's talk about Zayan's color. But before I do that, I just want to mention real quick that I know my table is squeaking, that you guys can hear that, and I apologize. I'm going to try to make sure to fix that. I'm just using kind of a flimsy, not very sturdy card table, and I had no idea it was going to be so noisy. So I apologize for that. I'm going to try to see what I can do so that doesn't happen anymore. Okay, so let's talk about our color. So this is Razberry Ice. R-A-Z Berry Ice R for rooted. And I really love this color. I honestly do. It's just really cool the way that it's highlighted. It's not the, there's kind of two highlights on most wigs that I see. You have the kind that are more blended. You don't see like chunky sections. And then you have kind of the highlights that are more like the chunky sections. And to me, this color, Razberry Ice, has more of those kind of like chunky sections, and it's not as blended. Now, I'm pretty sure I've told you guys 100 times probably that red wigs are my favorite. I like red wigs on me the best, especially like auburn colors. On point, fiery copper is my favorite Raquel Welch red. So I wasn't sure if I was going to like this color or not, because I usually don't like wigs quite as dark on me. But I can honestly say that I like this color a lot. And I would probably get her again in this color. So let me tell you about the colors. So the root is like a dark auburn, and I love auburn color. It's probably my favorite like shade of red. So we have the rooted dark auburn, and then we have a medium auburn base with copper and strawberry blonde highlights. So your copper highlights right here. So that kind of that chunky section. And then you have your strawberry blonde highlights right here. I'm going to get up close so you guys can hopefully get a pretty good idea about the color. Now, I usually do my wig reviews during the day if I can, but I've been so busy with stuff lately, I haven't been able to get them done in the day, so I'm doing this at night, so I don't have that outside light to show you, and I apologize for that. Get up close so that you can see it. Yeah, and you see you've got a medium auburn base, and then you've got, this is a copper highlight right here, a line of copper highlight, and then you got the strawberry highlight here, and you got a strawberry highlight here. My favorite highlight on this wig is you've got this blonde streak here, and I like that. I think it looks cool. So that's her color for Razberry Ice Rooted. Okay, next we're going to talk about her links. So let's scoot back some so that I will have enough room to kind of turn in my chair so you can see the sides. So her Zayan's front is about 8 1/4 inches long. Now, when I tell you these numbers, when I watch different reviews, one wig reviewer may say, it's this length. Another reviewer might say it's a different length, even though it's really close. And then you can go look on a website and they may even have different measurements. So what I did, I wrote down kind of a range that I found. I didn't measure it, but the numbers that I give you, it's going to be really close to that. And I want to remind you about the size of my face, because that does make a difference. And this is kind of funny. I actually watched one of my favorite wig reviewers do a review on Zayan, and she was the one I always kind of looked at, because I thought we kind of have the same face shape. And I think I thought that when she wore a wig, that's how it would look on me. And then I started noticing that when I would get them, they were shorter on me than they were her. So I was watching her tonight do a review, and I think she said, if I remember correctly, that her face from like the hairline here down to her chin is 6 inches. Well, mine is 8.5. So voila, that's why they're shorter on me. We both have 4-inch necks. So from here to here, I'm 8.5, about 8.5 inches long, and my neck is about 4 inches. So I have a long face. And I just like to give you those measurements. So if you're close, you will kind of know where she's going to hit you on your shoulders or at the end of your face and everything. So, all right. So her front is 8.25. The crown is 9 to 9.5. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it around for you guys so you can see it. Okay, and then her nape is 4 inches, so she's 4 inches from here to here, and the nape is really short. And a good thing about having a shorter nape is it's not getting so much friction, and so that's another reason that this wig is gonna have a really good lifespan. She weighs about 3.8 ounces, and her cap is an average size. Just want to mention something about the cap again real quick. I have a 22-inch circumference head, which is average size. But I do have trouble wearing sew wigs because I have a flat head right here. And so even with Noriko or even with Zion, I can feel that's not, there's this one spot in my head where it's always just I guess like a little gap at my flat spot. So I can feel it a little bit, but this cap, I really honestly think, at least for me, and I think this is different for everyone, but for me, this cap is more comfortable than On Point's. And I think that's because, again, she feels just more snug. And to me, anytime a wig is more snug, it's more comfortable. And that's why I like to glue them, because it just holds them snug. So, all right, let's talk about her cap next. Okay, guys, let's talk about Zion's cap. So let me tell you why I got a hat on real quick. We are actually in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. I have been quarantined for 5 weeks. And what happens when you get quarantined is you get, a little lazy maybe. And so, yeah, my hair is looking a little funky. And so I'm like, I'm going to have to wear a hat for this one. And I'm also sorry that I've been a little long-winded. I'm also going to blame that on the coronavirus because I haven't seen other souls for a while other than my sons. And it feels good to talk, even if I'm not really talking to anyone but me. That's probably why I'm long-winded, so I'm sorry. Anyway, let's talk about her cap. So Zion has they call it a temple to temple lace front. So it does not go all the way down to the ears. You can kind of see that where it stops right here. I usually like the extended lace fronts, but this one is not uncomfortable at all. And even though this lace is more stiff and thick, it didn't itch my head one little bit. I actually, like I told you guys, I think this cap is actually more comfortable on me than the Raquel Welch On Point. And again, that could just be the shape of my head because I think it's different for everyone. So she has this temple to temple lace front, and she has this monofilament part that does go all the way back to the crown. Now, I do realize that I forgot to mention about her density and her permatease. So I'm going to go ahead and mention that now. I love the density of this wig. I love curly wigs. Those are the ones I'm more drawn to. But then when I put Zion on and she's a straight bob like the one that I first fell in love with, sometimes I'm like, Penny, you just got to admit that you look better in straight bobs. So, and that's just the way it is. So she has a little bit of permatease in it, but I don't think the permatease is meant so much to give her volume as it is just to kind of mask these wefts some. She has open wefts. You can see. She has these bra strap-like extenders. She does not have an extended nape, but her nape is covered like with that felt kind of uh, fabric. She's also has her ears that are felt covered, and they have like metal in them so that you can bend them and get them close to the ears. And what else do I want to show? So I'm going to show you, her sides here. Show you that lace front again. Now, where you're going to find the permatease is kind of like in this area right here. It's not much at all. Noriko can sometimes have a little bit of too much permatease. I have found that for my liking, I think if you compare it to Raquel Welch, for me, I've never found a Raquel Welch wig that I thought had too much permatease. I have one Noriko wig that I love. I just wish maybe it had a little less permatease. I would say for Noriko, this is the least amount of permatease I've ever seen on one of their wigs, and it's really the perfect amount. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over and let you guys see it this way again. Just, I love big hair. I really do. Like, give me 80s hair any day. But big hair doesn't look good on me. The more and more wigs I wear, I honestly think kind of like the straight or just a little bit of body wigs look better on me, which is kind of funny because if I go to a wig store, I'm always drawn to the curly ones more. So, all right, so let me show you her this way again. So just to go over everything again, kind of tell you what I like about her a lot and what I didn't like about her so much. Of course, she's more economical, so that's a good thing. She's very comfortable. I think she's more comfortable. The cap is more comfortable than the Raquel Welch wig is on me. The Raquel Welch caps, even though they're average, feel a little bit bigger, so they don't feel quite as snug. So I like that the caps are comfortable. Love this style. I love how the edges are kind of, you can see they're really just jagged, which gives her kind of like a edgy modern look. So I like that a lot. And I love this color, this raspberry ice rooted. The things that and I really love the density and amount of permatease that she has. I think they did a good job with that. The things I like the least about her, again, is the shininess of her fibers and the lace front are the two things that I like the least. Kind of that stiff lace front. So just want to tell you this real quick. I'm always feeling the wigs, and I think that we kind of get an idea in our head of what we think it's feeling like as far as the fibers go, because we're kind of used to it. So I wanted to see what my son and his best friend thought, what they felt different between the on-point wig fibers and Noriko's wig fibers on Zion. I drive those two crazy, just so you know. So I go in Jacob's room and I'm like, Jacob, I need you to help me with these. And he's like, what, Mom? And now remember, we've been stuck together for 5 weeks. So I said, can you feel both of these wig fibers and tell me what they feel like and what the difference is in them? And his friend also did it. And so they said, when I talked to them, they said, this one just feels a little bit smoother. I think the fibers are pretty much the same size. And I don't know, the fibers on Zion feel pretty silky to me too. I guess they maybe feel a little bit softer on point, but I'm wondering if that's because she's that heat-friendly fiber, which they have to coat, and I'm wondering if that coat is what makes her feel more smooth. So just wanted to mention that. I mean, Zion feels very smooth and silky. She's very lightweight. She moves very naturally. I really like that about her. And again, she is lightweight. She's not heavy at all. Again, she's very comfortable to wear. So that's a pretty good overview of Noriko. All right, guys, we're finally to the last section of the review. I know y'all are so excited because it's been a really long review, but you know, you're probably on the quarantine too. So, hey, I hope all you guys are staying safe and doing all that good stuff. Um, I I know I've been touching my face, and I'm sorry. Every time I do it, I'm like, stop! It's so hard not to touch your face. It really is. So I have been washing my hands really good, and I've even been like washing my face a little bit with some really good soap that I know will get the bacteria off and everything. So anyway, I wanted to let you know that glasses fit fine with her. I can slide them right in, no problem, and slide them right out. So if you wear glasses, you shouldn't have any trouble. So I wanted to talk about styling, but I'm not going to, luckily, I don't have much to say about the styling. I've mentioned before, I'm not very good at styling the wigs. I try, but I usually kind of give up because I don't want to play with the wigs too much, because you know that too much friction is what decreases the life of them. And some of the other wig reviewers out there style their wigs beautifully. It's I think that must be a gene, and I just don't have that gene. So there are styling options with Zion. I just can't show them to you because I tried for like almost an hour to style her in different ways, and just nothing I did looked okay. So I would say you can style her, but it might take a little bit of skill to get her styled the way that you would like to. So just to keep that in mind. I'm a girly girl, and I love my hair and all of that stuff, but I don't like spending a lot of time on my hair. One of the greatest things about wearing wigs is, one, you have great hair, a great hair day every day, and like, what could be better than that, right? And also, it takes me 5 minutes to do my hair. So you non-wig wearers, eat your heart out. I know that's mean, isn't it? Well, you know what? I had like 25 years of crappy hair. So yeah, I feel lucky now that I get to have a good hair day every day, and I can do it in 5 minutes. So yay! It's a good thing that came out of having alopecia and losing my hair starting in my late teens. So, and I know I'm moving around. Sorry. All right. So, what else do I want to say? I think that's it. I think we're done. Thank you so much for watching this wig review. This wig was provided to me by Lori Powell, the owner of Lori's Lemonade Stand. Okay, guys, I just wanted to give you Lori's Lemonade Stand's contact information so that you'll have it. So again, this wig was provided to me by Lori Powell with Lori's Lemonade Stand. Lori's Wig Boutique is located at 13980 Guidera Drive in Rancho Cucamonga, California, 91739. You can reach Lori at 909-803-0310, or you can email her at loris-lemonade-stand.com. Lori makes appointments, so you need to either call or email her to set up an appointment, and she gives you one-on-one treatment while you're there. And Lori is amazing. I just, want to throw out there, she has been so good to work with, and she has the biggest heart, and she has a great story. So if you haven't had a chance to kind of reach out to her, you definitely should do that. All right, anything else? Let me give you her website. Her website address is loris-lemonade-stand.com. Again, thank you so much for watching this wig review. Please take care of yourself during this pandemic, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.